Hi, I'm Cristina Pipa,
And I'm Samantha Borman.
and we are here from ManuFixed. So everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end, of course, even if it's experimental or completely defying expectations. Everything starts, begins, and ends. So a lot of people before us have done a ton of research and writing, including Aristotle back in the day. So I just think we can use that to our benefit, right? So we've decided to put together this little sequence, letting you know about Act 1, 2, and 3, and we're starting with Act 1 today.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
The beginning.
All right. So in Act 1, the first thing you should do is introduce your characters.
Right. So even if we don't meet all of your characters, we should at least get a hint of them in this first act. And you want to think of the first act as about the first 25% of your story.
Yeah. And when I say introduce your characters, I mean your main character. We want to become invested in that character's journey.
Right, absolutely. And then we want to know what's at stake for them. So what does the world look like at the very beginning for them? This is sort of maybe their normal, and then something changes. And that moment is your inciting incident. And we've talked a lot with writers about when does that have to happen?
Yeah.
Like how long can we hang out with this character before something changes?
As your editors, we will keep an eye on that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think by 10% of the way in, we have to know what this book or story screenplay is going to be about, right? So
Absolutely.
if we don't know what the inciting incident is or what we are being called to, what the character is called to take some kind of action on, then, we're going to spin wheels. Exactly. So we want that inciting incident, and then when it happens, your hero may be reticent to do anything about it. So you might not have a willing or excited main character. They might be in utter terror, panic. But that in itself is a major change.
Yeah.
So from that moment on, there needs to be a point where they do take up the call, answer the call. There's the whole hero's journey, Joseph Campbell lingo. But yes, your hero at some point answers the call in this first act, and then they are locked in.
And they have to act decisively. We want to know what that hero's goal is, what they're going to do, and be on board for that journey.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like a lot of times things are happening to characters?
Yes. And it's okay. I mean, things do happen to characters, but your character has to have a reaction.
And then action.
And an action, yeah.
Yeah, I think that what's interesting about that is that the inciting incident usually does happen to a character. Mm-hmm. It's not typical that the inciting incident is something that the character does themselves. So I love to use Wizard of Oz as an example, and because it's a great book and movie. And I wanted to be Dorothy when I was little and named my dog Toto. True story. But in that, the inciting incident is that tornado, right? So that didn't, Dorothy didn't cause that. It happened, and it literally shook up her entire world, and it took her on this adventure. So you don't have to have a natural disaster, but have something shift, something major, and then how does your hero or heroine answer the call? Really obsessed about it.
She is really obsessed about it.
The 3-act structure.
She teaches lots of classes on it, and she's very good at it.